Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bud's Life. We're going to see if we can save this 2009 Nissan Frontier from going to the scrapyard. It's got issues, let's see if we can save it. So, this is it. This is the Nissan Frontier. It's a 2009 Nissan Frontier. It's got, I believe, I should look and see. I think it's got just about 200,000 clicks on it. Has a cap on it. As you can see, it's got that bed extender thing on the inside. Anyway, I'm going to grab the key here. But yeah, it's not a bad little truck. It's in pretty good shape. A little dirty inside, as you can see. Oh, I should get a light. Where is my light? I don't know where my light's at. Anyway, as you can see, seats are dirty. Seats are dirty. Seats are dirty. Anyway, it needs some cleaning. Alright. Let's see how many kilometers are on this thing. Actually, I think it's in miles. 194,000. Oh, I'm gonna turn that down. Oh yeah. What a piece of, that thing is junk. Alright. Okay. So, let's see how many. 194,328 miles. I believe that's in. Yes, it's in miles. You can see, well, turn the, there, it's in miles. Anyway, she's got some clicks on her. That's for sure. And interesting radio. I think that's a DVD. It's got nav and all that stuff on it, but anyway, it wasn't working when I got it. Turns out it was just a ground on the back that was not grounded, the ground wire. So anyway, I got that working. But this truck has got some issues for sure. Let's pull that in. Alright, this truck does have some issues. I had to take that, I don't know, tow hitch. It was on the front of this truck. I assume it's something that's made for these trucks. Anyway, I took it off. We don't need that on there, it was in the way. And I took the guard off. If I can get down here. Oh, there's my light. So, yeah. I took this guard off. That was just bolted up. It was 4 10 mil bolts. It was very easy to come off. And it just dropped down. And just these little bolts right here. They're just 10 mil. Anyway, I took that guard off the bottom, and it looks like that right there, to me anyway, looks like coolant and possibly oil. I'm thinking. And you can see there's some right there in the frame too, which I'm not 100% sure, but this truck has got a severe oil leak. As you can see, the front there's a lot of oil up here, a lot. And usually that up in there, I don't know if you can see it, behind that oil filter is an oil cooler. And they're prone to leak over time. Now, I don't see any other wetness around the front of this engine. Like if you look in back there, it looks nice and dry. But there's a lot of oil, it looks like, around that oil cooler. So I'm betting that the seal is gone on the back of that oil cooler for sure. And I'm also wondering if the oil cooler itself may be shot. And it might be leaking. I don't know. There's no coolant in the oil though, none. But we definitely have, I would say, a coolant leak and an oil leak combining. I don't know if it's in the engine, in the cooling system, or what. But we got to do some investigating and find out what's going on. Now, supposedly there was a brand new rack put on this a year ago. Now, I don't know if that does not look like a brand new rack to me. It doesn't look like they even touched that rack to me. I don't know. Maybe they did. I would think it should be a lot cleaner for only being a year old, but maybe not. That might be a new rack. I don't know. Supposedly they put a new rack on it because the old rack was leaking. Anyway, so we're going to get to work and we're going to fix some of this stuff. Hopefully today. So I think the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put some water in the rad. I'm not going to use coolant because it's just going to leak out anyway. And we're going to see if we can find out where this thing's leaking at, or leaking from. I'm going to push that back out of the way. I'll set you guys up here and we'll be right back. Alright, I'm going to go up top and I'm going to pour some water in the rad, and we're going to see, or you guys can let me know if there's anything dripping down there. And we're going to do it with a funnel so I don't spill. Funnel right there. I'm just going to move you guys a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Let's just there, see if there's any drips. Got my funnel in there, as long as it stays there. Now we'll try and do this without dripping too much. Oh dear. That's a lot of dripping. Okay. I'd say I got a pretty bad leak. I would say that right there is a significant leak. I think the hose is up top there. That's just from it's spilling out a little bit. I think I might need to get a different funnel. Let's try getting a different funnel and do this again. So I just pulled the funnel out of there, and that's what greeted me at the top. I'm not sure what that is, but it's green and greenish white. So it's definitely some oil. Ooh. That's bad stuff. Like, look at that. Now that's not dripping down. Interesting. Okay. We might have to do some more investigating on this. I'll turn you guys off here for a minute. Alright guys, as you can see, we have a rad leak. And I think somebody put some stuff in the rad to try and stop the leak, some rad stop-a-leak stuff, whatever you want to call it. And obviously it didn't work because that's dripping now. So I flushed this rad yesterday, I'm going to say a dozen times. I filled it up and drained it right there. That's the drain hole. You just take a Phillips screwdriver and pull that out. And there was a lot of crap come out of it, and I'm pretty sure it was rad stop-a-leak. That's all that was in the system. Anyway, looks like I'm going to have to get a new rad for this at some point, very soon. I think that's what was dripping down on the pan down here. There was a bunch of that white stuff down here on the pan. There's also a drip there coming too, if you can see that. I don't know where that's dripping from. So I'd say this rad is shot. It's no good. So we'll have to get a rad, definitely. But for now, I cleaned up the engine oil cooler, and what I did is I bypassed it. You can see there I got a plug there, and I got a plug up on the other side right there. I just plugged it in case it was leaking, but yesterday I had those plugs off with the truck running and nothing was coming out. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that oil cooler at all. I think they just put some rad stop-a-leak in it, and that's what was in that hose right there. I replaced that hose going up there, so I will probably just cut that hose and I will hook it back up to the oil cooler on both sides. The one there and the one up there. I just bypassed it, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't leaking. It doesn't. I don't think it is. I think it's fine. But I cleaned it all up, put fresh oil in it, new filter, and it seems to be fine. One thing I will say is, if you do take that oil cooler off to replace the seal behind it, and you put it back on, when I took it off, it was very loose, the bolt. It was not tight at all. So when I put it back on, I only put it a little bit tighter because I didn't think it needed to be very tight. But I was mistaken, because you can see on the floor here, I had a little spill. Yeah, I started this up yesterday after I changed the oil, and oil just dumped out of there. So that's not much wonder that that was leaking. That oil cooler was not on near tight enough. So I took it back off, cleaned everything up, put it back on, and I really tightened that center big nut down that filter goes on. I tightened it down pretty tight. But it seems fine now. There's no oil leaks. This has been sitting here all night, and there's no oil drips on the floor here at all. None. So that's good. I'm happy for that. But we definitely got a leak in rad, as you can see. And it looks like it's leaking over here too. There's a drip right there. It's going to drip here in a second. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to need a new rad for sure. Anyway, and that's not a problem. We'll get a rad and we'll get that swapped out. But for now, we're going to do a tranny flush on this. That's what we're going to do. So there, it just dripped again. Yeah, so anyway, that's not a big deal. We need to put a rad in it. So what we're going to do today is I've geared up this here. Kind of made this up. This goes down. I'll grab the light here. So this is what I kind of geared up. This is just an old oil can. I cleaned it all out. I put a fitting on there. And the tranny fluid will drain down, and that hose goes tightly over where the oil or transmission dipstick would go, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that or not very good. But anyway, that's the transmission dipstick down there. So we will pour fluid in this, and I gotta unhook this wire right here, or this line, that transmission cooler line, and we're going to hook a couple of hoses up to this and go into that bucket until we get all the old tranny fluid out. We're going to keep dumping new stuff in until it gets all nice and clean. Anyway, that's what we're doing today. So we'll see how this goes. Okay guys, so that's working pretty good. It's getting a lot cleaner. It was very black when it first started coming out, as you can see in the video. And this is working great. I just pour it in there and it goes down there. I think I'm going to do maybe another half, and then that should be it. And then I'll have 1 gallon left because I got a new filter too for the tranny, for the transmission. So I think the filter's in here, I think. Yeah. So this is the new filter. Automatic transmission filter kit. And it's supposed to be for this truck. That's the part number there. So my son ordered this for me at Canadian Tire. So anyway, we're going to put that in too. But this is going to change out all the fluid. So, and it's actually working very well. The only thing I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't put this hose back on right now here and connect this hose, this clear hose down here, so I can flush out this red cooler too. I think I'll do that because I want the red cooler flushed out too. It won't hurt. But other than being dirty, there's no water in that. Like you can see, like it's very dirty. Definitely overdue for a tranny fluid change. But yeah, there definitely was no there was no coolant in that, definitely. So I'd say all this had was an oil leak and a rad leak, and somebody put stop a leak stuff in the radiator system, and that's what all that white goop was. I'm pretty sure that's all that's wrong. Anyway, I'm going to hook this back up. This line here, I'm going to disconnect this one down here, and we'll hook this clear hose right up here, and we'll pump. I'll start it again and put another, it won't take much. We'll dump another couple of liters in it just and let it come out through that, just to flush this out, because this right now has got old fluid in it and I'd like to get rid of that. So anyway, we'll be right back. Okay guys, so I moved that. I don't know if you can see that or not. Get my light here. Lighting is terrible in this shop. I gotta get some new lighting. Anyway, yeah, I moved that back up there. So now the oil will go through this, through the oil cooler, and it's going to come out right there and go through that hose into the bucket. So I'm going to dump at least another probably 2 or 3 liters in that, because I want to clean this out and I want to get a little more good fluid going through that transmission. So anyway, that's what we're going to do right now. Sorry guys, I didn't turn you on there. This is what we're using, and I just dumped a couple more liters of this into there. So we're going to start the truck, and it should come out that oil cooler. And that should be good. I'm glad I put an oil catch underneath there because I had a little leak. Anyway, that's okay. No big deal at all. There's some oil coming out of this, I don't know why. Anyway, we should be good now. Okay, so we're going to button all that back up, and that's going to be it for that. Yeah, take this off here. liters. That's 12 liters I put through there. So there, you guys can see that's nice, clear, red tranny fluid in the transmission now. So we've gotten everything, all the old crap is out of there, which is great. So that transmission should work really nice now. I don't think there's anything wrong with it to begin with, but anyway, they told me they thought there was something wrong with the transmission, but I don't believe there is. I think this truck was ready for to go to the scrapyard. He was going to sell it to the scrapyard for $550.